All right, but yes, we are back again. Season 3, it feels really good. But we're back under a new persona.
Persona, name, alias. Is that what it's called?
Alias.
Secret identity.
Yeah, a new, I don't know, what's that called?
I don't know.
There's like a little acronym for it. MO. No, MO is like what you do.
MO is means of operation, right?
I think so.
I've always wondered. I've never really known.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I know what it means, but I've never really known, like, what it stands for.
Yeah. But we're back under conflict and interest.
I'm the conflict.
I guess I'm the interest.
Nah, you're the end.
I'm the end.
You're the
wow. Wow. I didn't even get a full word. Dang, I just got...
I'm playing.
No, but it's good. It's good to be back. I'm kind of looking... We have visuals now, so you can see our faces and how we react.
This is kind of weird. I gotta get used to, like, not being used to that. Like, there's a camera now, so like I gotta put pants on and
yeah, you gotta somewhat look good.
I can't pick my nose anymore.
I mean, you can just
but everybody's watching me.
That's very true.
Yeah,
but yeah. This was a weird off season that we had. We were off for like almost 3 months, dude.
Was it? It wasn't 3. It was like 2.
It felt like a long time. It felt like a while, bro.
Because I haven't even been married 3 months yet.
Fair enough.
So
that's true.
Almost 3. But I guess you could say it's almost 3.
But yeah, it's weird to be back. It really is. Like it's awesome to be back, but it's just weird.
I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
I've been waiting to come back for a while. You know why? Because there's so many things that have been happening in the world.
Yeah.
And I see it and I'm like, ooh, Eliott, let's record. But we're not recording. So I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, yeah, you know. I want to catch up on all the stuff we missed.
I mean, if you got a list of it, one of the biggest things that, before we get into that, let's talk about like what kind of happened on the off season, like what kind of we were doing.
Okay, let's do that.
Because it was weird because I think I was under the impression when we started, like when we were off season, I'm like, let's rebrand, let's do everything. But like, I want to make it official that like, you're like 50-50 on this. Like, this is our thing now. Because originally you kind of like hopped on and then it kind of just turned into that. But in reality, like it wasn't officially cemented. Like officially.
Like we a business now, fam.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
We a business now.
Well, it was weird because I had this idea on the back like side of my head, but in reality, you kind of approached me about it. So you explain it. Like you approached me with this idea.
All right. So long story short, this podcast is no longer Open Concepts Podcast.
Yeah.
We are now Conflict and Interest Podcast.
That's right.
But here's the kicker. The Open Concepts label hasn't just disappeared and it's not gone. What it is now is our network. Okay?
Yes.
So Open Concepts is now an umbrella network for other podcasts.
Right.
And speaking of other podcasts, we got another podcast.
Yes, sir.
Coming to you guys. Well, when do they hear this?
They'll be hearing this on the Tuesday when it releases, so it'll be
a week after this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Did we announce specifically like who's running that podcast? Can we just tell them?
Do it, Eliott.
All right. Well, we have EJ's beautiful wife, Priya, who's going to be doing that. And then as well, Shayna, who is also in Priya's wedding, right? They've been like super close friends.
Yeah, since like 4 years old.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 years old.
Yeah, they were throwing around the idea of starting a podcast. And I mean, by the time you're hearing this, you already heard a previous episode that we released kind of as a teaser and we rehashed the feminism conversation with them, which was really fun. Right?
Here's the funny story about Shayna. So when I was in high school here in Barrie, or I'm saying here in Barrie, like I live in Barrie, Barrie, in fitness class, my best friend in fitness class his name was Luke, right? And because he was the only other black kid in the class.
Yeah.
But Luke, I find out after talking and whatever that he learned piano from my mother-in-law.
Oh.
Right? So at the time, I wasn't friends with Priya. I was friends with her brother Daniel.
Yeah.
So when he mentioned Lalitha, my mother-in-law, I was like, oh, like I know the Venus is, like I know Daniel. Yeah. I know Priya too, but it was mostly Daniel because remember, me and Priya, we beefed back then. So
maybe one day you'll explain that story.
Right? I think I have, haven't I?
The hot dog. Yeah. Oh, yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I don't remember.
Whatever.
If I don't know. I might have. If you know, you know. If not, let me know if you want to know. But I'm like, oh, cool. So like me and him, we got really close. Fast forward, my wife, whose best friend is the same guy's sister.
Yeah,
so it's a super small world. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So they've been talking about doing a podcast for ever. Yeah. And me and Camargo, Eliott, were like, let's start something great.
Yeah. So and that was the idea, is because I think at least you definitely came to the realization, but I slowly came to it, is that we kind of reached the limit to what the podcast used to be. Like we reached the pinnacle of just like, okay, we're either just going to continue to do this as like a hobby, or we're going to try to make this something different.
I wouldn't say it was the limit. I'd say it was like that crossroad.
Fair.
Of is it going to just stay a hobby, or is it going to be like something legit?
Right. So, I mean, we've spent lots of time like this past summer, and it sucked because we wanted to record, as EJ was mentioning, we wanted to record this summer a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff did happen.
Yo, this summer was full of bull, man.
It's true. But again, we just realized like we got to focus on structuring this correctly so that when we come back, we can have just as much fun, but again, create new content for you guys.
And we're not going to get it perfect, but
no,
we're invested in this.
Yeah,
we're invested in you guys.
Yeah, this was fun. I mean, speaking of investing and like seeing that come back, I know we talked about it a while, but I needed to bring it up again just for when people listen to this. We got a t-shirt. We got t-shirts.
It's true.
Like sent to us. Okay, so I'm going to explain this really quickly. So I was sitting in my room, I think just watching basketball or something, or downstairs in my family room just watching basketball. And I get a doorbell, like my doorbell rings at like 9 p.m. That's unusual. I'm like, it's either going to be a family friend or an actual friend that I know. My brother goes answer the door and no one's there, but there's a package on my steps. And it's like, oh, who's it for? It's like, it's for Eliott. Like, okay, so I'll look at this. But it wasn't directed. It said Eliott and EJ, but the header it said is 2 Open Concepts podcast, which I'm like, okay, what is this? It might be some hate mail. What we got?
So you instantly thought it was hate mail, fam. If it was hate mail, it'd be just addressed to me.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, I opened it up and it had no like from whoever. It was like anonymous. And to this day, I still don't know who sent it.
It said fan mail on it.
Yeah, it just said fan mail.
You know what? Hold on. You keep telling the story. I'm gonna grab the shirt real quick.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm gonna show it.
Anyways, we get the shirt and it's 2 t-shirts. And it has our logo, like the old logo when it was Open Concepts Podcast. And it had that there. And then on the bottom, it had kind of like a cel-shaded picture of EJ and myself. And we're like, holy crap, this is like super cool that somebody took the time to actually make this. What was even cooler, and when EJ grabs the shirt, he's going to show you guys what it looks like. But on the back of the shirt, it had a bunch of quotes that essentially we were saying throughout the entire season 2.
I hope you guys
so this is like an avid listener of our podcast. like there's quotes of like the dumbest thing. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. You know that moment when you breathe wrong and you take that air? You take that air in? Oh man.
Eliott's a newborn and he forgot how to breathe.
Yeah, for half a second. Holy. No, but I was just saying that there are quotes that the dumbest quotes that we said, some of the funniest, but like this was an avid listener.
I didn't even know we had quotes, bro.
Clearly we did.
I know. I realized it after seeing the shirt. I was like, oh, like, dang, they paying attention to what I say.
They're paying attention. So, I mean, to whoever sent that to us, legitimately, like, DM us and let us know. Or if you want to remain anonymous, that's cool too. But genuinely, thank you for sending that. That was a shock.
We should post a picture of it when this airs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll post one. But it was really cool. And then I Instagram videoed EJ just saying, hey, yo, bro, we got fan mail.
Eliott was so hype.
I was so excited. I've never experienced that. I was just like, wow, somebody took the time out of their day. And this isn't just like a note or like a text or whatever. This is like actual effort that somebody put into this, being like, I love what you guys do. Let me show that love by creating something.
That means a lot. That means a lot.
That it really does. Like I have it in my cupboard right here, but like it's nicely placed and whatnot. I'm gonna frame that photo or that t-shirt.
When this podcast blows up and we have like an office,
I was gonna be up there.
It's getting plaqued, like
absolutely. But yeah, so I mean, it's good to be back. I'm excited for whatever season 3 holds. But again, we're back as a new podcast, Conflict and Interest. I'm pumped.
Same podcast, different name.
Exactly.
You know?
Just the same old dumb shenanigans.
And bro, but when we were like getting the girls ready for their podcast, just listening to them do it, I was itching. Like I was like, I had like what's the word? I was fiending for it, bro.
Yeah.
I was having like withdrawal.
I felt the exact same way too, because I have to edit their podcast. So hearing them talk, I was like, oh, I really want to get back into this.
I miss you guys so much.
I know. We missed you guys. It's good to be back. I'm happy. But I mean, bro, what has happened this past summer and going into fall? There's so much.
What hasn't happened?
We got all
the world hasn't ended yet. That's it.
The world hasn't ended.
That's
but
all
we
that's
got
happened.
Hey, but we got passports now.
Oh, the vaccine passports.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's jump into it.
I mean, we have to talk about it. We can't not talk about it.
Right, exactly. I mean, for those of you who have been living under a rock, COVID is still here. It's still happening. But now it's a mandate that we're trying to get this to the point where we can get back to normal. And the government has decided in order to do that, we're going to now mandate some essential COVID passports, which were only for international travel, I believe, at first, correct?
Yeah.
And now they're making it so now it's more stuff in your local area. So things that you usually use. So I believe it's restaurants that are going to be there, gyms, and movie theaters, correct?
Yep.
So that is the plan from the government. And I think that goes into effect. Is it late September or early October? I don't remember the date.
The 22nd of September.
Holy. Okay. So, I mean, if you want to do some fun stuff without having a passport, go for it. So let's talk about it, because I'm torn on how I feel about this.
So am I, bro. Like, actually, no, I'm not torn on how I feel about it. I'm torn on what I'm supposed to do.
That's a better answer. Agreed. Because they are saying that we're not forcing you to take it, but in reality, the more you shut down, you're kind of leaving me no choice. Right? We've said this on the pod. I'm not against, at least for me, I'm not against taking the vaccine. I've said this multiple times. But I see it in the same mindset as taking a flu shot. I never taken it. I really, in my opinion, I don't really see the point. But if it comes to the point where, again, things are shutting down and I really need to take it, I'll take it. It's not that I'm against it. I just don't really see the need in my life right now. But for some reason, that makes me an anti-vaxxer, or people go nuts over that. I don't get that. I don't know. Yeah. It's a tough one.
Okay. I am under the mindset that if you want to get the vaccine, by all means do so. And I'm under the mindset that nobody should fault you for getting it if you want to.
Yeah.
But I'm also under the mindset of the opposite too. If you don't want to get it, that should be your prerogative.
Correct.
And you shouldn't be faulted for not wanting to get it. So I'm at like a crossroads because I personally just don't want to get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't know, the vaccine just doesn't sit well with me personally. Right? Fair. But now it's like you can't do certain things. And the things that they're saying you can't do are not essential things. Right? No. So there is also the argument of like, well, you could work out at home, you could eat at home, like, which is very true. But at the same time, I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I really just don't understand the way it's being forced, I don't know. It just seems suspicious to me. It seems a little off. Like, on one hand, I hear the vaccine protects you from whatever, but you can still get it, right? And on one hand, like, okay, medically, if the reasoning is taking the pressure off of our medical teams, like ICUs and all that stuff, correct, and you want to alleviate some of that stress and all that, yeah, I get that. But I feel like the enforcement of it doesn't match what they're saying. Because I saw one of those Trudeau rally things. And he was saying, like, he didn't say nothing about no ICU. He was talking about basically saying, like, unvaccinated shouldn't be putting vaccinated people in danger. Which doesn't add up to me, because you can, like, if you can still get it, that doesn't get transmitted regardless of vaccinated or unvaccinated. Yeah. Right? And if the vaccine protects you from it, the only person at risk is the unvaccinated, to me. So I'm just like, I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Like, it doesn't add up to me. It doesn't match.
I'm not genuine. Like, I wasn't surprised when I heard that there was a passport happening. And again, the reason why I'm not surprised is because, again, in Canada, it's different in comparison to like the US, where we look at places like Florida or Texas, where they don't really have that. There's no mandate on being like, well, the government is going to force you to do that.
I saw something saying Florida is about to charge businesses for enforcing.
I heard that, which is crazy.
We finna move to Florida, bro.
Honestly, I don't know. It was funny because I had a conversation with someone today who also said it's like, well, I haven't gotten my vaccine either. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, is there any particular reason why you haven't gotten it? It's like, well, no, I'm in the same boat. It's like, I don't really, like, in my personal life, I don't really see a need to get it. Right. And it's crazy to me too, is because it's like, I don't really, the person was telling me that they don't really talk about it with people. And I was like, why? Why do you not talk about it? It's like, well, again, because of the potential judgment or the hate that you could get, which is crazy.
It's political.
It's very political.
It's like if you walk into a room and say you're a right wing, whatever, and you could get attacked by the left wing. It's like,
yeah, because everybody's already got preconceived notions of both extremes.
Yeah.
So if you're saying one thing, everybody thinks that you are the pinnacle of what anti-vaxxing is that you hate it all and you're a big conspiracy or whatever, right?
And the thing is, I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm just this one in particular. I don't know. Like, is the flu shot a vaccine?
Technically, yes.
So what's the definition of a vaccine?
Let's find out. We can do this now because I got visuals now. Right. We can search this up. Let's find out. The vaccine definition. Vaccine is a substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or several diseases. Prepared for the causative agent of a disease. Its products or a synthetic substitute treated to act as an antigen without including the disease.
See,
every year the flu vaccine is modified to deal with new strains of the virus.
And I hear the argument that like, well, there were mandatory vaccines in school. That's not true. Go research that. It wasn't mandatory. But
the little yellow pamphlet thing?
Yeah. But
yeah.
But another thing about those vaccines, I get the vaccine for chickenpox. I'm not getting chickenpox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get the vaccine for COVID. I can still get it, and I can still die.
So you're under the mindset only because it's actually like a vaccine that's actually preventing you from getting the actual disease.
Like, I feel like there's just like, I don't know, man. There's different variants. The vaccine doesn't even cover the new variants. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, though the concern I think that not concern actually, yeah, kind of a concern that I have is that, again, it's government mandating now things, because it could be very dangerous when that happens, because then technically now government can really mandate whatever they want.
And that's the scary part. It's like, it goes back to that conversation we had about Trump and the whole Twitter thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Twitter is within their right to ban him if they feel so, because it's their platform.
Yeah. It's their private company. They can do what they want.
So, and technically, here with our situation, they're not banning you from living life. You don't have to go to these places to enjoy yourself.
Correct. Absolutely.
But I just feel like if we like accept it from the government, especially, like Twitter's one thing. Twitter, like whatever. But from the government, I feel like that's risky now, because if we okay that kind of stuff, who's to say how far it will go?
That's fair.
You know?
And again, people could see that what we're saying as like, oh, you're thinking of the extreme, you're thinking of that. We could be.
I'm low-key a conspiracy theorist, though.
That is true. You've said that
multiple times. It is what it is. So.
Yeah, well, the other thing I was wondering is too, is like, for example, like going to work and stuff like that. Like for me right now, thankfully, like I haven't been mandated to get the vaccine, but going into October, I don't know what that's going to look like.
If they say you have to, what are you going to do?
I don't know. It's kind of tough because, I mean, right now is my off year to kind of save money up for, again, paying back whatever school loan that I have, but then as well saving up for whatever future I have. So it's tough. It's really tough.
And like for me, it's like a principle thing too.
Yeah.
Like I can get stubborn with some stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to get it. It's not mandatory, whatever. But now you're forcing me. And in reality, like I want to go to the gym still. I want to do all these things.
Well, that was the same.
But it's like, okay, but do I feel like I'm selling out.
Yeah, like how strong are your morals? And if you're saying you don't want to get it, are you going to cave that easy?
Right? And people are saying, like, I know some people might think it's not that deep, like, but I think on principle, if I believe something and now I'm being forced to do something that I just don't believe in because then I can function in society, to me, that's selling out.
Yeah.
I personally don't I don't want to do it, but you're making me. So
yeah, it's true.
Like, you know?
Well, I was seeing, I think at least that, because universities are now mandating it as well, is that you cannot be on campus or anything unless you have a vaccine. Unless you have, I believe it's a medical or religious exempt. And in that case, I believe you have to get like consistently like get those COVID tests. So like the swabs. I couldn't do that. That's a lot. I haven't even gotten it.
See,
I don't want
here's my thing. I heard about that where it was like some workers, if they don't want to get it, they have to get swabbed twice a week. To me, that's fair.
Agreed.
I think that's fair. If I don't want to get the vaccine, let me take the swab. This is cool. Even though it's uncomfortable, I still prefer that over the vaccine. But here's my thing. If that's an option for some, why can't it be an option for just everyone who doesn't want to get the vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because right now, all I've heard is that just for universities and colleges. Like, I haven't heard that for like places of work.
At Milestones, they had rapid COVID tests.
Yeah,
you have to take it twice a week. You put the swab up your nose yourself, and it doesn't have to go as far too. So like, I'm trying to just understand, like, if we have these things to let us know who has and who doesn't, why Is it like, like I don't know. And then I saw something today talking about 90% of Toronto or Ontario or something like that is vaccinated.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know why that number to me sounds like it's not true.
You think it's like too high?
Yeah. The amount of people I hear saying opposite to the vaccine for it to be 90%.
So do you
I don't feel like the majority is pro-vaccine. I think it's pretty even.
So do you think then it's like what, a silent majority of people that are kind of like not for the vaccine?
I think when you talk to people,
or do you think it's an even split?
I wouldn't say an even split. I don't know about 90% though.
It's fair.
I feel like just from what I've seen, heard, people I've spoken to, it doesn't come across to me like everybody is pro-vaccine. So the whole 90% is, and it was like only 330,000 are left to get vaccinated.
Right, to reach that 90%.
I don't know why that seems like a stretch to me. Because if that's the case, why are you pushing it so hard? If 90%'s already done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but bro.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, going forward, well, I mean, we're back week to week, so I guess we'll kind of keep everybody updated on what happens, because the closer we get to that date, the sooner I guess you and I are gonna kind of have to make a decision on what we're gonna do.
It's tough, especially when like all your friends end up making a decision, and I'd like, this is annoying, bro. It's so irritating.
It is. It really is. But yeah, I don't know what other stuff other than that kind of piqued your mind, or like you were like, I need to antsy talk about this over the summer.
I mean, that was the biggest, and it's still ongoing. So
it's absolutely.
But you know what I wanted to talk about when it was happening? DaBaby, fam.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into this. Explain for the audience. This annoyed me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys know who DaBaby is, right? I'm sure like all the white people that don't listen to hip hop are like, I don't know who Lil Baby is and DaBaby and Lil Uzi Crackbait. Like, I don't know. All these different names.
What would your Lil name be? You have to pick a Lil.
My Lil name?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I got mine. So mine would be, so you know the track Money in the Grave by Drake?
No, I don't listen to Drake.
Fair enough.
He's trash.
We'll talk about that later. No, he dropped a track when the Raptors won the championship, and he dropped Scary Hours, and one of the tracks is called Money in the Grave with Rick Ross.
Oh, okay.
And in the...
that was Lemon Pepper or something like that.
That's Scary Hours too.
Oh, okay.
So, geez, Siri just went off. No, in the track, just before he starts rapping, he says Lil Cece. The first time I heard it, I thought it said Susio. So in Spanish, Susio means dirty. So when Daniel and I heard it, we both said it, it's like Lil Susio. And we're like, that's an amazing Lil name. So if I had to choose, that would be my Lil name. It'd be Lil Susio.
Lil Dirty?
Lil Dirty,
you don't wash your legs, Eliott? You only wash from the top up and let the soap run down?
The top end. No, I'm not that person. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, that'd be my name. Lil Susio, baby. You gotta pick your Lil.
I don't know my Lil
will be. Or do you want to be a duh? Is there only one duh? DaBaby?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't think I would be I'm an artist, so it's hard to answer that because I don't want to be a Lil.
All right. Well, if you come up with it sometime during the episode, let me know. But anyways, explain DaBaby.
Lil, your mommy like it? I don't know.
Lil, your mommy like it?
I don't know.
All right. Well, anyways, explain DaBaby.
So DaBaby was at, what was it, Coachella?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of them festivals. Right? Yeah. That's a whole other thing. How they're having festivals in the middle of all this.
It's America.
It's wild. But so he's on stage performing whatever. And I don't know if you guys know, but like if you're like at any concert or whatever, and the DJ's like, yo, put your hands up if you came here with $10 in your pocket, kind of thing, right? They'll shout out whatever, and if that's you throw your hands up. So DaBaby was kind of doing that thing, right? Now, your typical artist would be like, yo, if you're ready for more, let me hear you make some noise, whatever.
Exactly.
This man goes, what did he say? He goes, if
Go for it.
What did he say?
It's
what did he say?
I think it's like he said something with AIDS, right?
If you ain't got HIV and you're not gonna like die in the next 2 weeks, put your hands in the air.
Yeah.
He said, ladies, if you bleep, 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 smell like bleep, 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 put your hands in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he said, dudes, if you ain't in the parking lot, bleep, 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 put your hands in the air. So, said these things. They were homophobic, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
And HIV phobic and whatever the term is for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I heard it, I was like, dang, I wouldn't have said that. Like, why you say that? Like, what did you expect to get out of this by saying that, you know?
Just wants to get a reaction.
I don't know. But I didn't think too deep of it.
Yeah.
But the internet killed him.
Yeah. They tried to cancel
They tried to end his career.
Well.
And to the point where like other festivals are taking him off of their like lineups.
Yep.
And I'm listening to some of the comments. People are like, I don't see how whatever festival can be okay with this kind of talk and all this other, and they're just complaining about words, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there like, does anybody realize what his music is about? Like, you go into the festival to see him rap about things that are not morally right.
Yeah.
But if he says it without the beat, then you want to cancel him for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here like, what is going on?
It was wild.
What is happening?
I mean, even Dua Lipa came out and she was talking because she did a remix of her super popular song "Levitating" with DaBaby,
Mm-hmm.
and she posted about it saying, "Hey, just to let you know, I do not support DaBaby and what he said. When I did the record with him, he was from my eyes, he seemed like a completely different person. I stand with everybody who has been affected by this, and I hope that you guys continue to just strive and whatever."
They flamed her for that too, though.
They flamed her for that because they called her a culture vulture.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's just being like, okay, so now because he's in hot water, you're now kind of defending your own back when you wanted somebody like that to kind of represent your track.
Because if you listen to his music,
yeah.
And like I think the statement she made was like, I like that's not the person I met. That's a lie. This is the same guy who beat up a fan in public. This is the same guy with allegations for other things. Don't pull that card now because he's getting flamed and you don't want no part of that. That ain't it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you're sitting in the car jamming to him talking about like using guns and drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, but then the moment he says something that, again, as you said, that isn't on the beat, everyone goes up in arms. Half the artists that probably people are listening to are talking about murder, but that's morally, which we know is morally incorrect, but we're still okay with just listening to it casually in our car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes sense to me.
It's
so
like,
again, they tried.
I don't like, man. My thing is, if you're gonna stand on a moral high ground, you gotta always stand on it. Yeah. You can't pick and choose what you want to be morally right and morally wrong.
Correct. Absolutely.
If it's morally wrong to you in one scenario, keep it that way forever. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. I thought it was dumb. And I mean, people like Tory Lanez came out, which Tory Lanez has been notorious for being canceled consistently, which again is stupid to me as well.
Oh, I have thoughts about that too, bro. Like,
I mean, go for it. Talk about it.
Okay. Did we ever talk about the Tory situation?
We did. We talked about it with because remember DaBaby did a track with Tori and Meg Thee Stallion retweeted. Why are you doing this?
So for those of you that don't remember, whatever, Tori allegedly shot Meg Thee Stallion in her foot. There's no evidence of this. There's no charges. There's no nothing. It's just her word against his.
Yeah.
And it seems like the world is taking her side on it. So I was listening to a podcast, and the stance was, yeah, I'm not going to support Tory until we find out, but I'm not taking sides.
That
right?
in and of itself is a
so
side.
The guy's like, so you are taking a stance by not listening to his music. He's like, no, because I don't listen to Tory anyways. And the guy's like, okay, but like the fact of you saying you're not going to listen until you find out what happens, but you're going to listen to Meg as well, means
you've made a judgment
call that he did it and he's guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
If you're really not going to take a side, you either listen to both or you don't listen to either.
Exactly.
And my question is, what's going to happen if it comes out that he didn't do it? What's going to happen to Meg? What should happen to Meg?
Here's the thing. A lot of things could happen and probably should happen. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Do you believe that women who make false accusations on men for stuff should be punished with the same punishment the men would have gotten?
Yes, absolutely.
I agree with that.
Because not only are you actively trying to ruin someone's life, to find out that you also did it intent, okay, how do I explain this? If it's not true, you did it with intentionality that you actually wanted to ruin this person's life for your own personal gain.
Yeah.
You should deserve the exact same thing, because regardless of whether he's found innocent or guilty of whatever it is, there's still a stigma around that person.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to think something about this person. It'll never go away. Absolutely not. So I think that should stand the exact same way. Yeah, I actually, it was funny too, because I was listening to another podcast that Tori was on, and he was talking about cancel culture. And we've talked about cancel culture tons on this podcast.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I hate it. But he was talking about is that technically he thinks that it doesn't exist.
It doesn't. It does, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And he explained it this way. It's like, really, in reality, nobody can cancel you. You can only cancel yourself. If you choose to stop what you're doing because people are saying that you're trash, you're this, you're whatever, you are canceling yourself. You're saying, oh, I'm submitting to the mob mentality of people saying, oh, they hate me or whatever. I'm just going to stop doing what I'm doing, which I agree with. I think that in reality, of course, you're going to probably face some backlash, but only you can stop doing what you want to do.
And see, if you look at Tory right now, Tory is winning.
He is.
Tory is always trending number one. Not for some BS either. His music is just always trending.
We talked about this when we were recording. What was the NFT thing?
Oh, that's another thing too. I was going to say, before I say that though, I was going to say, I think the reason is because he does everything himself.
Yeah.
If you rely on other people, you can get canceled.
Yeah.
Right? Like DaBaby, for example. Mm-hmm. These festivals have the right to take him off if they feel whatever they feel.
Correct.
DaBaby's putting on his own shows and people are still showing up.
Yeah.
Then there's nothing to say.
Exactly.
Right? But Tory, for example, we talked about the NFT thing with Matt, right?
Yes.
So Tory creates this NFT, an album, and he has 1 million copies of it only. There will only ever be 1 million copies. And he sold them for $1 each.
Yeah.
So some people bought 300. Some people bought whatever. Right? And the point was, because it was exclusive, that when he sells it for so cheap, everybody that has it can resell it at a whatever price they want. Right?
Yeah.
This man sold out 1 million copies of that album in 57 seconds.
Yeah, under a minute.
That's crazy.
Man went platinum in under a minute.
Yeah, if we're talking about legit sale numbers, that's platinum.
Yep.
So, he's not stopping. He's just doing it himself, which
exactly
you can't cancel that.
Nope. Which I love the mentality that he had of it was, I want to share the wealth because people helped me get to where I am. So I want to give back to you guys in a way that actually helps, because a lot of artists say, I want to give back, but in a way doesn't really help benefit anybody. He's actually giving you actual opportunities for you to create wealth for yourself in a small way, but still a way. So I was like, this is different. This is new. This is good.
And now other artists are doing it too. He was the
Other
first.
artists that did it. Yep.
Trey Songz was doing one. I wanted to buy it, but we don't get Binance here in Ontario no more.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like that's whack.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who's still talking about DaBaby that way? Nobody, because again, cancel culture is a thing where like
nobody cares anymore. Because now the topic is Drake and Kanye.
Yep, which we can talk about if we want to.
Like
you listen to both albums,
like
Certified Lover Boy.
You like that segue though, don't you?
That was a good segue.
I know it.
But yeah, both albums came out.
I heard both.
I heard both. My opinion has changed since the last time we talked.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Mine hasn't.
Yours hasn't? Yours stayed the same? Okay.
Yeah.
My opinion now is because I think I had Drake blinders on, which most people do.
Not me.
Okay, well, you never really
that
liked
annoys
Drake
me. Why are you like this, Eliott? Oh my gosh. Don't be a sheepdog.
I had Drake blinders. Listen, I can't even front. I like Drake. Drake's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like his music.
Mm-hmm.
It's hype music. But anyways.
That was not a hype album.
No, it was not.
That album was a calm day by the lake.
It is a subpar, a very mediocre album, if I'm being completely honest.
It wasn't good to me.
No. And the thing is that in terms of uniqueness, like, this is why it wasn't different. It's the same thing. If you listen to Girls Like Girls from Drake, it's the exact same beat, just faster, of Tootsie Slide that he did.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same thing. And I listened to it and I'm like, I try to show my brother and he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, dude, it is. If I took Tootsie Slide and played it faster, it's the exact same beat as Girls Like Girls. That album, yeah, it like, again, it's hype because it's Drake, but in reality, the uniqueness of what Kanye put out, I prefer that.
I don't like Kanye's album either, dog.
This is where, again, you and I disagree then. I like Kanye's album.
Here's my thoughts on both, okay?
Okay.
I think I have a good opinion because I'm not a fan of either of them.
Correct.
So I don't have a blinder for either of them. I'm just listening objectively. Right? With the beef, because the beef to me plays a huge role in the album for both of them.
Yes.
Okay? We got two mega artists. Like mega. These are not like Chris Brown's. Chris Brown's a huge artist, but these are like mega artists. Okay?
Yeah.
The way they were beefing and going back and forth made you feel like there should have been heat. Like heat. Okay?
Yeah.
When I heard Kanye's album, I was like, this is the guy everybody's like praising? Because let's be objective again. All right, Eliott, let me ask you a question. If I put out the Donda album under my name, what would you rate that album?
That's a good question.
Right? If it was not Kanye, that album would not be a thing. People would not talk about it. It would not get any traction.
Very interesting. Okay.
Especially in the world we live in today where everybody's making music, there are way too many talented artists putting out music that are not as big that will get overshadowed by a subpar album.
That is fair.
So, in my opinion, to me, Kanye shouldn't be beefing Drake at all. That'd be like Michael Jordan beefing Steph Curry. It doesn't make sense to me. Like Drake isn't Drake without Kanye. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be like Chris Brown beefing Michael Jackson. Like, objectively speaking on music, whatever you feel, that's fine. But you shouldn't be beefing one of your sons. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
With that in mind, I'm looking at it like, okay, Kanye's kind of wild and Kanye's being Kanye.
Yeah.
And doing his shenanigans and all that, fills up 3 stadiums, does a live show. and then the album drops, and I'm like, this is what we're talking about? I expected more. So at that point now, I'm like, all right, cool. I think Drake's going to come with some fire.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm not a fan of Drake's music, but I like when Drake raps. Okay? I like Take Care and previous Drake. When Drake gets in his like rapidy bag. Not like the not that Drake. When Drake's like the last name ever, like that Drake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking because it's a beef, he's gonna come with that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's been so long since we've heard that Drake. If he did that on an album, people would love it.
Yeah.
Because Drake's been doing the same Drake for the past how many years now?
It's very pop Drake.
Right? If he went back to his Lil Wayne type inspiration Drake, I think people would love it. So I'm sitting here thinking, dang, like Kanye just embarrassed himself. Drake's gonna come and clean up. Yeah. And numbers wise, Drake is beating him because he's sold way more, way faster.
Correct. Yep.
But just on a music level, I think both albums are not good.
It's fair. The only reason why I give it to Kanye over Drake is because it's more unique. Drake is just the same thing. Don't get me wrong. I like if I'm trying to like drive somewhere and I'm trying to get hype, probably put Drake on instead of Kanye. I'm not putting Kanye's album on to get hype. But if it's an everyday listen, trying to just not hear the same old thing, I'm probably, if I had to choose between the two, it would definitely be Kanye's album. That's why Kanye is unique with all his albums. Drake, at least the past 2 or 3, sound very similar.
See, they all sound the same. I tried to have that approach. I just couldn't. They both suck to me. and part of the reason why I give it to Drake is because Kanye cut off that Chris verse, bro.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh,
bro. Why?
For those of you who are new and have not heard us in a while, Chris Brown is ultimately one of our favorite R&B artists of all time.
I love me some Chris Brown, bro.
Dude, he posted a story of his Donda track on his feature, and he's like, "Hey, why wasn't I included in this?" And I listened to it. I was like, "Dude, how you not put this in?"
I don't even know, bro. Like,
how you
that
not
was
put
crazy
this in
to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. But do you know what was the funny thing? I saw a tweet, and I 110% agree with this. Actually, before I ask you, who do you think as a music artist won 2021?
There's a certain few people that I can't do that with for the masses.
Okay.
So like
I have one artist.
Like if Drake drops, Kendrick drops, J. Cole drops, Kanye drops, Jay-Z, like if those big names drop, they're in their own category to me.
Okay.
Because I don't think it, like I can't compare a Lil Baby album to a J. Cole album.
Okay, that's fair.
Because those, to me, those guys are solidified. Those are like, they're competing against each other.
Correct. I said 2021 belongs to Lil Baby.
Ooh, 2021, I discovered Lil Baby.
That exactly. That's why. And he became so mainstream. And again, it's the moment when you are on a feature on Drake's song and you outshine Drake.
Honestly, though,
you win.
What Drake's been putting out, it ain't that
hard. Like when you're on Wants and Needs and you're outshining Drake and you're rapping like it's ridiculous. Like, bro, Lil Baby, like people are talking about the Drake and Kanye beef. Lil Baby is winning right now.
You think Lil Baby beat Lil Durk?
Oh,
everybody's gonna be listening to this. Like, there's way too many Lils. There's way too many Lils for me to keep up.
We got Lil Drake. We got Lil Durk. We got my name, Lil Susio. We got every. We got all the Lils. Lil Xan, Lil Nas X, everybody.
I think Lil Baby and Lil Durk were the top 2.
Agreed.
But I prefer Lil Baby because I just like him better.
I agree. I mean, I think still right now, one of my favorite albums of 2021 to this day right now is still J. Cole's Off Season.
Really?
I love that album.
I think my album of 2021 is Love Language.
By Trevor?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my style. I like R&B. But I'm just thinking, like, as a project, it was so refreshing.
Very true.
Because to me, Trevor puts out music that's relevant, but it's not gross.
Yeah.
Like, when you listen to Trevor, you can tell he has respect for women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but he's still cool. Like,
yes.
he puts out songs that wouldn't make it into a club. But to me, that's okay. Agreed. Because he's staying true to himself. And I think his talent and the album itself, I give it to Trevor, for me personally.
Yep.
But
I gave it a J. Cole simply because, again, it's just like Lil Baby. Like, I knew of J. Cole, but in reality, I listened to him from here, and just like the raw talent, because you don't like.
That's the first time you listened to J. Cole, right?
Yeah.
Did you go back and listen to?
I did.
Man,
holy
man,
oh.
Right?
So again, it was refreshing for me because I hear a lot of rap of like mainstream rap, but this is like actual talented rap. Like, there is lyricism, there's actual stuff behind it.
I don't even consider those like Lil Babies and Lil Durks and those guys as the same kind of rappers. To me, they're different subgenres.
Yeah, like J. Cole, Kendrick is that category, and then everybody else is kind of that other
that's
category.
Why those OGs are in a different category. Because if we were gonna have a rap battle, none of these Lils can stand to the guys that enunciate and have bars.
Yeah,
these guys, like, some of them do have bars, but these guys, like, they're vibes, like they're dope vibes, right? But when we're talking about like make you think about it, make you go back and think about it, that's a different, like, there's an art to rapping, which I don't think people appreciate enough.
Agreed.
But you know who I think is a slept on rapper who can actually compete with those guys?
Who?
Tory Lanez.
Yeah. Yep.
When Tori raps, bro. Like Tory just has a bad public image, but when that boy raps,
that man he can raw,
like he can go.
Yeah, like I've seen on YouTube like some of his freestyles. His freestyles are insane. Like the way he can just pick up easy from where he is.
Freestyle, storytelling.
Yeah,
like it's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, Tory is definitely one of those people.
If there was a beef between J. Cole, and Kendrick.
Oh, that's tough.
And granted, J. Cole's not going to beef with nobody. J. Cole will never be. He's not that guy.
Yeah.
But
which I appreciate about him. It was refreshing.
Right? But if he did, who do you think is winning that beef?
Oh, that's so
J. Cole
tough,
or
dude.
Kendrick? I'm not even putting Drake or Kanye in that because I don't think... I think those are the top two rappers.
Oh my gosh, that is so tough, dude.
Personally, I'm gonna give it to J. Cole.
I was gonna give it to
I'm gonna give it to J. Cole. The reason I say that is because J. Cole comes differently. like he raps like he's grown. Like it's like yeah. But that would be tough, bro. That'd be really tough,
dude. Oh boy, I'm excited just to hear Kendrick's album when it comes out. He's been gone for so long. I'm excited to hear his.
Oh, there's so much going on about like his verse where he was talking about like I'm killing your top 5. Yeah. Everybody thinks he's only talking about Drake. Because who else is in your top 5?
It's true.
He's already called out everybody before.
Yep. That is fair. But yeah. I mean, yeah, this summer has been interesting for that. We had a lot of music beef. We had a lot of, again, COVID stuff, but I don't know. What about you personally? What was like summer like for you? Summer for me was a little weird.
Summer for me was discovering what marriage is like.
Yeah, that's true. Because you were like, this is COVID marriage summer for you.
Yeah,
this is everything in between. Mm-hmm. How was that?
Marriage is great. Yeah, you know, like they have this saying like, you'll never fully be ready for marriage, which is true. I think there are just certain things you're not prepared for because you just haven't thought about it. I think everything that you would think you could be prepared for, me and Priya were prepared for.
Yeah.
But then there's always that little thing that sneaks in and it's like, dang, I didn't even think about the fact that this affects my marriage. Or like this thing about me affects both of us now, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So I think those are the kind of things where it's like, oh, like this is marriage. Like talking about these kind of, like this is marriage, you know? But I think, that's what it was for me. Like marriage is fun. Marriage is great. I think we live in a world right now where marriage is not looked upon nicely.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Marriage is lit.
Yeah. No, I for me it was just this is a weird summer in the sense that like not this summer but last summer it was like no work and it was just kind of enjoying summer and just kind of learning more about myself, the things I like, the things I don't like, the aspirations that I had. This one was more like it's grind time. It's time to get back, figure out like every little step of what I want to try to do. Plus also, I just finished school and like we're now into September and this is the first year I've never had to actually go to school or have that like schedule.
How does that feel?
So it's weird, dude. It's really weird. Like I just feel like I'm not doing something. It just feels like I'm not doing something right now. And I'm so like I've been working for the past 2 days, so that's been nice. But other than that, it's just like now I have like a stretch of time that normally is filled with school or studying, but now it's just this. So it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, like when school's done, it's almost like, and I can't speak to post-secondary because I stopped at high school.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my gosh, like life.
Well, yeah.
And there's no time limit to it either. Like the idea that like, okay, I'll go to school for the next whatever many years. You can plan that out.
Mm-hmm.
The next time you stop is when you die, fam. So it's like it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's very weird, and I don't know. Like it's because, well, I told you this, and I told a lot of people this, but like the moment school finished and I got the diploma, all the like adulting stuff started hitting all at once.
Yep.
So it hit like, oh, time to get a car. Oh, time to pay insurance. Oh, time to pay more bills. Time to figure out what you want to do with your life. Time to figure out all this other stuff, right? So it's all just hitting. So you get all this free time, and then you have all this adulting, and it just all mixes together.
Bro, I can't wait for heaven, fam. Where we could just live life and not worry about the BS,
the mundane things
of the world we live in.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I'm excited for this fall. It's weird. It's the first year that I've ever had that like it's not like scheduled. It's kind of just now figuring out what I want to do, which is cool. I'm
excited for you, bro.
Appreciate
I'm excited
it.
for us. I'm excited for y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. This is brand new. This is our new venture into something more. And I'm excited for how it evolves and all the cool things that are going to happen. But yeah, this is kind of like our comeback season 3 episode. Bringing it back.
Back to the basics.
What song is that?
If they don't know, they're not real fans.
That's true.
That's how I feel.
I would.
That's just how
I would hope they know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm excited for your wife and Shayna's podcast. Like that's gonna be great.
Ooh, you guys are gonna be. If you guys are sick of listening to dudes talk about things that maybe dudes shouldn't talk about, and you want to hear some like women's perspective on things, go listen.
I'm pumped.
If you want to hear my wife roast me, go listen. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you listen to a podcast that's going to change your future? Why are you making it complicated?
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy. Remember that commercial?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Everett. What was it, Everest?
Yeah. It was. But yeah, I mean, kind of wrap it up right now. It's kind of it. But I mean, we're gonna bring back one of our favorite segments. You remember this one, EJ?
Oh, I came back with a banger.
You ready? All right.
Real one.
Well then, after 2.5 months and sometime, we are back for season 3. But it is time for question of the week. Question of the week.
Do you believe that social justice can really exist?
Holy crap, dude. That's an episode right there. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I said it.
Jeez. All right.
We low-key should like just dive into this like next time. But like
honestly,
off cuff.
I mean, we could off cuff. No.
I don't either.
The reason why I say no is because it's tough, because social justice it's so broad and then at times so specific to people. And the reason why is because people can have different beliefs to what their version of social justice is. And that's why it's so subjective. It's not an objective thing.
I agree. I think social issues are a matter of perspective and bias. So because there's no concrete like things, like for example, murder is wrong. We all know this. We all know this. You go anywhere, if you murder, you get in trouble for it. Social issues, they're way too nuanced and biased and perspective for there to be a concrete way to have justice for it.
Yep.
Now, I think we can work towards being better at understanding each other. But do I think social justice can exist? I don't think so.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I think that it's difficult because, as we said, it's a subjective feeling. Like, for example, if we eat meat, technically to somebody's social justice, that's wrong. Because we're killing animals.
Yeah. Was it PETA?
So again, PETA would say that we're murderers. We're not for social justice for animals and equality and rights for them.
Yep.
So again, that's why that's one category. It can go into all forms of subjects in terms of social justice. So I think that while we can, yes, as you said, and I 100% agree with that, try to understand our perspectives a little more, I don't think true social justice can exist without stepping on other people's toes.
Or without Jesus coming back for all his followers.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly, right? Honestly, that's it. But in reality, that's the question. That's a heavy loaded question, bro. You came.
I came with a bazooka, fam.
So let us know. Do you think in this modern day society that social justice can truly exist? Is that a feasible option for people? So let us know. We'll post it, comment it up. But yeah, we're back. We're back. It feels so good to say that and be back finally for season 3 of Conflict and Interest under the Open Concepts Network. Feels good. Feeling good?
Oh, I'm Gucci, bro. I can keep going, but I know like people don't want to listen that long. So
it's all good. It's like a nice little intro. We'll get into probably some longer episodes going forward. But anyways, again, I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, oh crap.
I knew it.
We have that.
I knew it.
Dang it. I haven't done this in so long.
I was waiting to see if he had prepared the new outro.
No, I didn't. We're going to go off the cuff because it's the pilot, okay? I just realized that's the one thing I didn't have prepared. So, if you are following us where the Open Concepts podcast used to be, you're following us anyways on Conflict and Interest. But for those of you who are not following us, you can follow us at Conflict and Interest. It's Conflict and Interest, okay? That's what it's going to be.
we got to write this down for next week, bro.
I know. I'm going to write it down.
Oh, man.
Same thing as well, guys. Follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts as well. We have a visual aspect to this now. So we're going to be uploading.
We got to see how it turns out for this.
Yeah. If you're seeing this, it worked.
If you're not,
and you're
confused, there's your answer.
it's a hit or miss. But anyways, we're going to be uploading these clips onto YouTube. So again, if you want to consume this podcast in a way that is a little more easier, or you want to hear certain sections of what we talked about,
or you just want to see my pretty face,
that too. We're gonna put that on YouTube for clips. Nice, super consumable clips. As well, we are setting up a Patreon where the full visual, should it work, and audio aspect will be on there.
And some other goodies.
Right? And some other goodies too. We will explain that. I mean, there should be already a video out explaining kind of what we're planning. So if you guys feel the need to support us, we would truly appreciate that. Because again, EJ and I and the rest of us are trying to make this thing possible, and we're trying to, the more we get in terms of like support, the better content we can create for you guys. That's all we want to do.
Let me give you guys a little perspective. All right?
Perspective. Go
all
for it.
All you guys that listen to us on a weekly basis, you guys are actually awesome. Okay? Which is why we decided we wanted to take this a little bit more seriously and put some we wanted to invest in it.
Production,
right? We wanted to invest, and that involves a lot of things. I'm not going to go into it, but we're investing ourselves into this, right?
Yeah.
So all you guys got to do, if you listen on a weekly basis to support, is just share it.
Yeah.
That's it. The more people that hear it is the more people that come and listen. That's it.
Yep. Absolutely. And again, yeah.
A comment's nice too, but sharing, that's the thing.
Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. But yeah, I mean, follow us there. And if not, EJ, where can they find you, man?
This is Juwan96. I'm on Twitter too, You know that?
Yeah, I follow you on Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter is interesting. I want to get good at tweeting.
Tweeting is hard.
It is.
It's an art. It's an art form, dude.
Jumping onto a different platform is it's crazy. Because the way everything works on a different platform, it's a different culture.
Yep. Different algorithm too. Do you know who's a really good person that tweets? Priya's brother Dan. Dan's a good tweeter.
I don't even follow my brother-in-law on Twitter.
He's got good tweets. I like his tweets. But yeah, anyways, further down the line, we're going to perfect this because again, this is new for us just as much as this may be new for you. So let us know if you got anything else you want to see or changes that maybe we can make. But yeah, this is kind of our pilot, sort of, into season 3.
We back.
We back.
Ooh, for all the wrestling people that know, finally, The Rock has come back.
That one's for
if
Joel.
Nobody appreciates it, Joel.
Joel will, 100%. He will hear that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you guys next week.